Hi, I'm Kate. I'm a digital learning coach at the International School of Luxembourg.
I work with grades 2, 3, and 4. I also support PE, art, and music. When I began the Coach Micro-credential, it was my first year working at this new school in the second year of the pandemic. I attend the PYP planning meetings for all the grade levels I support, as well as the single subject teachers. I also hold office hours in the common areas of each grade level once a week when the teachers have their planning period. I attend regular IT, library, and makerspace meetings and a monthly digital curriculum meeting. This year, I'm also supporting a grade 5 class in the first year of their PYP exhibition. I contribute to collaborative planning for the units of inquiry, and I look for authentic connections to support digital citizenship and literacy as well as device literacy. I develop relationships with my colleagues to increase the possibility of coaching, co-teaching, and general collaborative learning conversations, all to support student learning.
When I began the course, it was very clear in my mind that I wanted my goal to be completing a formal coaching cycle. During my first year, I was able to create some relationships with teachers in the grade levels I support, and we began meeting regularly about the use of technology and problem solving and brainstorming ideas for connections for integration and enhancement. I approached my colleague Amy, who I was working with, about participating in a coaching cycle with me next year. She was moving to a new grade level and was looking for some support in navigating the new curriculum and having someone to talk with about the use of technology and integrating and enhancing the opportunities for the learners. Our coaching cycle revolved around a 5-step process of identifying and understanding the challenge, investigating the possible strategies, then selecting the personal tools or strategies to address the challenge, and then going through cycles of implementing the strategy and making improvements while having regular meetings. The final step in the cycle is the reflection on the outcomes. One of the ways I supported Amy in achieving her goal in our coaching cycle was through selective scripting and an observation of a lesson. I also was co-teaching and facilitating lessons with her as well. And I was able to also participate in a debrief kind of reflection as well with her class. As I look through the reflection video from Amy and I's last coaching meeting, I'm reminded of the power of video observation by a device that is very objective to reflect and review our own practices, whether as an educator or as a coach. It's really very powerful. Amy shares some insights about our time together working in our coaching cycle.
It was a really lovely moment to see them really start to become a bit more open-minded and to ask questions where they're trying to really delve into what the identity of someone is. Yeah.
Cool.
So I think to be honest, if we hadn't have had the focus, then I would have still done it to an extent, but not as well. So
Awesome. So the coaching cycle kind of helped emphasize.
and having the parents' involvement too with the surveys also has really helped to add to that and give it a bit more depth, so we're understanding where the children are coming from, so I can support them with that and those conversations. Yeah, definitely.
And what would you change? What would you change anything about it?
Not really. I quite like it. Like, I think it will be interesting to see where that conversation actually goes next week when we go to the diversity, equity, inclusion, and justice room to have a kind of reflective discussion. And I think it depends also on the group of children. I'd probably start earlier on in the year, focusing on just being open-minded Like, I didn't realize how, how much they needed to have it kind of modeled for them about how to be open-minded, how to be curious, how to ask good quality questions. So it would be good to, although when I showed them that celebrations book, which is kind of what prompted a lot of this, that naturally came out. I'd probably try and capture those questions that they had initially when they were exposed to that, about how different children celebrate, and like look earlier on about this information would be good to have earlier on in the year, so I can also ask the parents to come in and speak at different times. Like, that's the ideal model, I guess. I wouldn't change this necessarily, but I would definitely start probably the process earlier on, so we can capture those moments, like when family is celebrating Thanksgiving or Diwali, that we have a little bit of understanding about what that actually means to the kids.
And like representation.
And then we can record that on here. So what would be nice to add on to the Padlet is when they had those experiences to share about their traditions and beliefs or their religion and that kind of thing. It also prompted a lot of the parents and families to ask questions. Like, one child came and said, "Oh, I didn't know that I was Catholic." So, and I said, "Well, do you ever go to church or do this or do?" No, but my mum says that we're Catholic. So just to have those conversations at home too about their identity is just really interesting. Yeah, I feel they were engaged in what they were doing, and they want to do it. Like, there's a motivation and a desire to do it, which there isn't with everything we do. So I think like it's got quite a lot of that personal buy-in and catering to the ego that is with children who are 7 and 8 years of age. Like, it's all about them, and they're excited to share it. And I keep saying, no, we're not sharing it yet. Kind of keep it to yourself. It's got that natural buy-in from the kids, and they were totally immersed. Like, they want to do it. They know their QR codes. They know how to get in. They know what to do. And I think that's the greatest lesson I've learned from doing it with the kids that came out. Is that, and this just came out. It wasn't something I planned. That these things change. It's not fixed. Our identity isn't fixed, and that they discovered that. It's really.
The biggest area of learning that I've had so far in the coach has been around the difference between being a coach and being a consultant. I have worked for many years as a coach, but I've actually been a consultant because I was putting my ideas and my agenda at the forefront of the work that I was doing with my teachers that I supported. And I've really reflected a lot on that, and I can see that coaching is really when you are putting the coachee's needs and agenda items and focus ahead of your own as a coach, and that's been a big area of learning for me. While working on the Coach Micro-credential, I have been able to complete a coaching cycle with a colleague for the first time and really improved my active listening skills. I became more aware of when I was being a consultant and when I was being a coach, and how difficult it is to, be cognizant of that while also trying to be engaged and thinking about perhaps good questions to ask the coachee in regards to the conversation. I also see more value in the informal interactions and conversations that I have with colleagues, that is also a form of coaching. And the support that I've gotten from the Coach Micro-credential has really allowed me to customize my goal around that focus, while also widening my understanding about the breadth of coaching itself. There are so many resources that I certainly will use for the future, and really helped me, get a better understanding of what it means to be a coach and how common the struggles that we have are, and the connected global community that comes with a coach is really a huge asset to the program as well. So you can feel some camaraderie and some connectedness around the challenges that we all go through, and also try to find creative solutions and different ways of thinking and working with those challenges in our professional lives.